Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are all welcome once again to our Arabic proficiency lessons with Alqirā-atur-Rāshida. Inshallah, we are on a fresh topic, المنارة تتحدث, الجزء الأول, the part 1 of المنارة تتحدث. Alhamdulillah, if you follow diligently and you've been practicing very well, I think reading now will be quite easier for you. You can read on your own. It's just a few vocabularies that will press you, and even at that, you can still use the dictionary to find your way through. Inshallah, our assistance here is just to take you through, and those words that might be problematic for you, we try to find meanings for them. And some constructions that might be a bit difficult, inshallah, we break them down. But then, for general understanding now, it should be quite easier to get, inshallah. So we start with المنارة تتحدث part 1. Today, let's see how we can go about this. I wish we could break the part 1 into just 2 sessions and then we are done, inshallah. Al-Manara, to us, we know, is the minaret. When the masjid is built, that long pole you see, normally you find the moon sign on it, I think. You find a very long pole like that, and sometimes they fix the loudspeakers on top of it. So that is the minaret, Al-Manara. Okay. تتحدث. So the minaret is speaking. Okay, the minaret is speaking. Of course, the minaret does not speak. Okay, it's an inanimate. So when it says al-manaratu tatahaddas, you know that is a literary device. It's something that we are going to expect here. It says خرجت يوما من مدينة دهلي أروح نفسي. أروح نفسي is kind of, I went out from the Delhi, from the Madinah, from the city of Delhi for recreation. أروح نفسي يعني for recreation. Okay, ترويح النفس is recreation. From the verb روح, يروح, أروح, ترويحا. Okay, ترويح النفس يعني getting some rest for the self. Okay, that is ترويح النفس بمعنى recreation. So خرجت يوما من مدينة دهلي أروح نفسي من صخب الأسواق. صخب الأسواق is the noise, the disturbance of the markets. Okay, أسواق, the plural of souk. So he is telling us that I went out one day from the city of Delhi for recreation. Okay, from the disturbance of the market. وَأَنَاءِ الْأَشْغَالِ, يعني to find some rest for myself from the disturbance of the market. وَأَنَاءِ الْأَشْغَالِ, and the stress of activities. Al-Ashghal jam'u shugul. Okay, and the stress and the tiredness of activities. It says وَذَهَبْتُ إِلَى مَنَارَةِ قُطْبِ الدِّينِ خَارِجَ دَهْلِ, and I went to the minaret of Qutb ad-Din. Okay, that is the name of the person. I think the name of the person who built it. Reading on, we will find out. So he went to the minaret of Qutb ad-Din, which is Kharija Delhi. It is outside Delhi. Okay. And he says, وَرَأَيْتُ هَذِهِ الْمَنَارَةَ الشَّامِخَةَ, and I saw this lofty, this great minaret. فَإِذَا هِيَ آيَةٌ فِي الْحَنْدَسَةِ وَالْبِنَاءِ. فإذا هي آية. آية هنا بمعنى شيء عجيب. Okay, شيء رمزي, something remarkable. أي فإذا هي آية في الحندسة والبناء. I went out and he's telling us that I saw the great minaret. I saw this great minaret, and then it was a great mark in engineering and construction. Al-Bina, Al-Handasa, engineering. So he realized that minaret, maybe you've been hearing about Manarat Qutb ad-Din and you've not been there before. The day he went there, he realized that it was a great heritage of engineering and construction. It says مبنية من الحجارة الصلبة الحمراء. It was built from red strong stone, from the red strong rocks, if you want. As-sulba, when you say something is sulb or sulba, بمعنى the thing is firm, it's strong. Okay, it's not weak. Al-Hamra, red. So the red, strong rocks. تنطق بعظمة القدماء. I تنطق here, not that the thing is speaking. Okay, the minaret, the تنطق here بمعنى تنطق المنارة. تنطق هذه المنارة الشامخة بعظمة القدماء. يعني it kind of speaks about the greatness of the people of olden times. So when you see the minaret and you see how it is built, how great it is, it tells you how great the people of old times were. It's وبينما أنا أدور حول هذه المنارة. وبينما يعني and whilst I was going around, وبينما أنا أدور حول, going around هذه المنارة, this minaret, بين قبور وقصور. And so the minaret, you realize that there are kubur there, there are graves there, and then there are also castles there. So he was going around this minaret. So let's say you get to the area where the minaret is, and there are graves, there are also castles. Okay, so you are walking around this place, this environs. Okay, that is where the minaret is. So وبينما أنا أدور حول هذه المنارة بين قبور وقصور وأفكر في ضعف الإنسان وقوة البنيان. And I was thinking about the weakness of man, or the weakness of humankind, and the strength of buildings, وقوة البنيان, and the strength of buildings. إذا صوت يرن في أذني. Right then, as I was thinking about the weakness of man and the strength of buildings, so you realize that man is weak. If you touch yourself, you realize you are weak. But then you put up this strong building. So he was contemplating, thinking about this thing. Right then, he heard a voice rang, yarinnu fi udhuni. A voice rang in my ear. Wayakulu, and it said, Ayyuhar rajulu isma. The voice was saying, Ayyuhar rajulu isma. Oh man, listen. Waltafattu falam ara ahadan. And I turned, iltafata, to turn. Iltafattu falam ara ahadan. I turned and I did not see anyone. Wasarrahtu tarfi. You see, this has been repeated again. I think we saw it in the previous one. Wasarrahtu tarfi. I cast my gaze. فَإِذَا الْمَكَانُ هَادِئٌ. Just to realize that the place is very calm. There is nobody. There is nothing, no movement. So sarrahtu tarfi, I wajjahtu nazari. I turned my sight, I cast my gaze. Then I realized the place is hadi'un, is calm. There is nothing. Laysa huna da'in. There is no caller here. Wala mujibun. No somebody responding. There is no caller or respondent here. وليس هنا إلا الحجارة الصماء البكماء. And there is nothing here except the rock, the deaf and dumb rock. الصماء بمعنى deaf. الصماء, the feminine of الأصم. الأصم, that is deaf. And then that is, it doesn't hear. Okay. Al-Bakma'u is the feminine of Abkem. So Al-Abkem, that is dumb, it does not speak. So there is nothing here except this deaf and dumb rock. Jamil. ليس هنا إلا الحجارة الصماء البكماء. أي ليس هنا شيء إلا الحجارة الصماء البكماء. There is nothing here except the deaf and dumb rock. وإذا صوت يتردد. And then a voice kept repeating. يتردد بمعنى يأتي ويعود. Okay. يأتي مرة, يغيب مرة, ثم يعود. So وإذا صوت يتردد, تردد, to be repeating, to be coming again. أيها الرجل اسمع. So the voice kept saying, أيها الرجل اسمع. فأصغيت إلى هذا الصوت, and then I paid attention to this voice. So when it kept repeating, he paid attention to the voice. He says, وَقَدْ دَنَوْتُ مِنَ الْمَنَارَةِ. Dana yadnu, to come close. وَقَدْ دَنَوْتُ إِلَى الْمَنَارَةِ. I got close to the minaret. فَرَأَيْتُ عَجَبًا, and I saw a miracle. I saw an amazement. رَأَيْتُ عَجَبًا, I saw a surprise. رَأَيْتُ عَجَبًا إِذْ سَمِعْتُ الْمَنَارَةَ تَتَكَلَّمُ. I saw a miracle when I heard the minaret speak. Saw the minaret, the red stone made minaret. He saw it speak. فَقُلْتُ, and I said, لَمْ أَرَكَ الْيَوْمِ هِجَارَةً تَنْطِقُ. I have not seen in a day, I have not seen in any day a rock speaking. I have not seen but today a rock speaking. And he has never seen, if not for today, a rock that speaks. وَمَنَارَةً تَتَحَدَّثُ. أي هِجَارَةً تَنْطِقُ, a rock speaking. وَمَنَارَةً تَتَحَدَّثُ, and a minaret that is speaking. He has never seen this. وَإِذَا صَوْتٌ أَجْهَرُ وَأَوْضَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ. So, and then he realized the voice, when he got close to the minaret, he saw the minaret speaking, the voice became ajharu, more clear, or ajharu, more loud, more apparent. When we say jahar, jaharan, bimana, something that is obvious. Okay, jaharan, something that is obvious. I think it's in the Quran when you look, let's see, when you look at, he says, سواء منكم من أسر القول ومن جهر به. That is Surah Al-Ra'd, verse number 10. سواء منكم من أسر القول ومن جهر به ومن هو مستخف بالليل وسارب بالنهار. So, alike to him among you is he who conceals his words and he who makes them openly. Jahara bihi bimana, to bring them open. So when you say ajhar, that is the ism tafdil. It's more open. The voice became more apparent. Wa awdahu, and more clear. Min qabl, than before. It says, Isma ayyuhar rajul. Listen, O man. Wala takhaf, and do not be scared. فَقَدْ أَنْتَقَنِ اللَّهُ الَّذِي أَنْتَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. It is Allah who had made me speak. Allah, the one who makes everything speaks. فَقَدْ أَنْتَقَنِ اللَّهُ. Indeed, Allah has made me speak. Allah, the one who made everything speak. هُنَالِكَ وَقَفْتُ أَسْتَمِعُ لِهَذَا الصَّوْتِ. There I stood and listened to this voice. فَإِذَا الْمَنَارَةُ تَقُولُ. Then the minaret was saying, أَنَا وَاقِفَةٌ هُنَا مُنْذُ أَكْثَرَ مِنْ 7 قُرُونٍ. I have been standing here since more than 7 centuries. Qarn is a century, 100 years. So the minaret is saying that it has been standing where it is for more than 7 centuries. That is for more than 700 years. لم أبرح مكاني ساعة. أي لم أترك مكاني. لم أترك مكاني ساعة. I have not left my place for a moment. ساعة here, not an hour, a moment. It says ولم أغمض عيني طرفة. أغمض بمعنى to close, and I have not closed my eye طرفة, for a moment. طرفة بمعنى a moment. So when you say طرفة عين, that is when you blink your eye, that is the طرفة عين. So وَلَمْ أَغْمُدْ عَيْنِي طَرْفَةً. I have not closed my eyes for a moment. أشاهد تقلبات الزمان. أشاهد تقلبات الزمان بمعنى the turning over of eras, different eras. Okay, the turning over of time. وتحول الملك والسلطان. Okay, and the movement and the changes in kingdoms and authority. كأني كتب, as if I am a pole. The minaret is talking about itself. كتب بمعنى a pole. كأني كتب, as if I am a pole. يدور حولي رحى الحوادث, and the movements of events goes around me. So like a pole around which things revolve. كأني كتب, as if I'm a pole. يدور حولي رحى الحوادث. رحى الحوادث بمعنى the movement of events revolves around me, as if I'm a pole around which the movement of events revolve. وقد رأيت في هذه المدة من العجائب ما أضحكني قليلا. And I've seen في هذه المدة, in this period, من العجائب, among amazing things, ما أضحكني قليلا, what made me laugh a little. ومن المحزنات ما أبكاني طويلا, and among things that made me sad, ما أبكاني طويلا, that made me cry for a long time. So he has seen amazing things that made him laugh a little, and then he has also seen من المحزنات, things that makes you sad, among them those that made him cry طويلا. ما أبكاني طويلا, أي الذي أبكاني طويلا, that which made me cry for a long time. ولولا أن قلبي من حجر لانشق حزنا, and if not that my heart is of stone, لانشق حزنا, it would have cleft asunder due to sadness. It would have broken apart due to sadness. ولا أنكر أني رأيت في هذه المدة ملوكا عادلين, and I do not reject, okay, that I saw within this period kings that are just, ملوكا عادلين, just kings. ورجالا من العلماء والصالحين, and men among scholars and also righteous people. قرت بهم عيني, with them I was satisfied. قرت بهم عيني, with them I was satisfied, I was pleased. وزالت بهم أحزاني, and with them my sadness went away. زالت أحزاني, my sadness went away. بهم, with them my sadness went away. So the minaret, among the things he saw, some made him laugh, some made him cry, but he does not refuse that he saw just kings and also saw scholars. He saw righteous people with whom he was pleased and with whom his sadness went away. It says, وَهَا أَنَا ذَا, and here I am. Ha أَنَا ذَا بمعنى here I am. أَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ خَبَرِي, and here I am narrating to you my news. وَمَا جَرَى فِي هَذِهِ الْبِلَادِ بَيْنَ سَمْعِي وَبَصَرِي, and that which happened in this country from my hearing and also my seeing. So events that took place that I saw and also things that happened that I heard of. سمعت أن السلطان محمود الغزنوي هو الذي فتح هذه البلاد للإسلام. I've heard that the Sultan Mahmud al-Ghaznawi, he is the one that conquered this place and opened it up to Islam. وَدَوَّخَهَا, I think we've seen this word, تدويخ. دوَّخَ is to conquer, أي قهر. وَدَوَّخَهَا مِنَ الشِّمَالِ إِلَى الْجَنُوبِ, and he conquered it from its north to the south. Okay, الشمال north, الجنوب south. So that we say South Africa, we call it Janub Africa. Okay, it says وَحَزَمَ الْأَحْزَابَ وَالْجُنُودَ الْمُجَنَّدَ لِمُلُوكِ الْهِنْدِ, and he defeated Hazama. He defeated Al-Ahzab. Al-Ahzab is the plural of Hizbun. So Hizbun is Ahzab. And when we say Hizbun, we mean a party. That is a group of people. So even today, a political party is called Hizbun Siyasiyun. Okay, the plural is Al-Ahzab As-Siyasiyya. So when I tell you that عندنا في غانا هنا تقريبا 19 أحزاب سياسية, something like that, just by the way. So I tell you, in Ghana here we have 19 political parties. Okay, من أجل الديمقراطية, due to democracy. عندنا هنا في غانا تقريبا 19 أحزاب سياسية، منها اثنان رئيسيان. عندنا في الأحزاب الحزبان الرئيسيان اللذان هما حزب ال NDC وحزب MPP. يعني كلام هكذا، حزب بمعنى party, that is a group of people. So وهزم الأحزاب, and he defeated the parties, the groups, والجنود المجندة, and also the armies المجندة that were recruited or formed. المجندة بمعنى formed or recruited. لملوك الهند, for the kings of India. So he defeated the parties and defeated the soldiers that were formed for the kings of India. فكان برهانا، أي فكان ذلك برهانا على أن الإيمان يغلب العدد. And that was a proof. برهانا يعني هجة. And that was a proof that Iman, that faith, يغلب العدد, defeats numbers. Faith defeats numbers. وذلك في فجر القرن الخامس الهجري. And that was in the 5th century Hijrah. 5th century Hijrah, that is 500 years to 600 years after Hijrah. Says وبعد قرن ونصف, and after a century and a half, غزا الهند السلطان شهاب الدين الغوري. So after a century and a half, the Sultan Shihab al-Din al-Ghawri غزا al-Hind. He attacked India, or he waged war against India, or he did a military expedition on India. وهو الذي رسخت به قدم المسلمين في هذه البلاد. And it is with him that the feet of the Muslims were firmed up in this country. Rasakha, to become firm. Okay, that is the word we see in the Quran. وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. Okay, الرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. Let me see if you can quickly find it. Verse number 162, Surah An-Nisa. لكن الراسخون في العلم منهم والمؤمنون يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك والمقيمين الصلاة والمؤتون الزكاة والمؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر أولئك سنؤتيهم أجرا عظيما. Verse number 162 of Surah An-Nisa, you can check it out. But the firm in knowledge, أي الراسخون في العلم, those who are firm in knowledge. So when you say راسخ, to be firm, okay, it is there, I think, in Surah Ali Imran also, that is chapter number 3 verse number 7. You will find it there also. When you read, you find, let me see if I can find the word, okay, towards the ending of the, okay, let's just read from the beginning. It says هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات هن أم الكتاب وأخر متشابهات فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء تأويله وما يعلم تأويله إلا الله والراسخون في العلم, and those who are firm in knowledge. So you can check also Surah Ali Imran verse number 7. You find our rasikhuna word there. That is the rasakha we have here. أي إذا رسخ في العلم يصبح راسخا في العلم. So وهو الذي رسخت به قدم المسلمين في هذه البلاد. It is with him, this Sultan Shihab al-Din al-Ghawri, it is with him that the Muslims gained a firm feet in this country. وقامت لهم دولة مستقلة, and then a state, an independent state was put up for them, for the Muslims. Okay. It says ولكن الذي فتح هذه البلاد في الحقيقة, but the one who really opened up this country in reality وأخضعها للإسلام, and made it succumb to Islam, هو الرجل الصالح, is the righteous man, الشيخ معين الدين الجشتي. Okay, so he's telling us that it is this king. Okay, there's a king, Sultan Shahabuddin al-Ghawri. He's a king. But then he's telling us that the king is the one who waged the war, who did the military expedition. But in reality, the one who really opened up the place to Islam is this man, Al-Rajul al-Salihu al-Sheikh Mu'inuddin al-Jisti. Why is he saying that? Because normally the military, they do the fight. That doesn't make a person a believer. The person becomes a believer by conviction. So it is the scholars and the righteous people who make people love Islam. He says, الَّذِي اهْتَدَى بِهِ إِلَى الْإِسْلَامِ أُلُوفٌ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. The one with whom thousands of mushrikeen, thousands of mushrikeen converted to Islam or were guided to Islam. الَّذِي اهْتَدَى بِهِ إِلَى الْإِسْلَامِ أُلُوفٌ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. The one with whom thousands of people were guided to Islam. وَكَانَ دُعَاؤُهُ سِلَاحًا لِلْغَوْرِي وَجُنَّةً. And his prayers, so that is the Al-Ghawri was a sultan, and this Mu'inuddin al-Jisti is the scholar, is the righteous man of the era who was behind him, praying for him. And the prayer of al-Jisti was like a silah, a weapon for Al-Ghawri. And it was also a shield, Junnatan, and it was also a shield for him. So as Al-Ghawri was on the field fighting, it was the prayer of Al-Jisti that was backing him up. Okay. And then the rock or the minaret, it tells us, it says, Ana akulu sami'tu. Okay, the minaret is the ana here. I say sami'tu, I heard, لأني لم أكن في تلك الأيام, because I wasn't in that era. Okay, the minaret wasn't in that era. فأنا وليدة القرن السابع, because I am born of the 7th century. So we are talking about the 5th century and 1 year and a half, a century and a half after that. So we are talking about the 5th century to the 5th century, the 5th century to the 6th century. The minaret was not made yet, because the minaret is telling us that it was born in the 7th century. That is, it was constructed in the 7th century. فَقَدْ بَنَانِي كُتُبُ الدِّينِ مَنَارَةً لِجَامِعِ قُوَّةَ الْإِسْلَامِ. So Qutbuddin, the one who constructed it, is the Qutbuddin, as we saw before. The Qutbuddin built the minaret for the masjid that was called Quwwat al-Islam. Jami' bimana masjid, bimana musalla. Okay, he built that minaret for the masjid called Quwwat al-Islam. وَتَمَّ بِنَائِي عَلَى يَدِ شَمْسِ الدِّينِ. And the building, my building, was completed at the hands of Shamsuddin. He came to complete the building. وَبَقِيتُ فَرِيدَةً مُنْذُ وُلِدْتُ. And I've become alone. Okay, faridatan bimana alone. Munzu wulidtu, since I was born. Ay munzu tamma bina'i, since I was built. Faridatan also means unique. Yani since I was built, I've become unique of my kind. Jamil. Okay. And he says that وَمِنْ حَسَنَاتِ الْإِسْلَامِ أَنَّهُ جَعَلَ الْعَبِيدَ سَادَةً. And among the beauties of Islam is that it made the servants leaders. Islam came to raise servants to the status of leadership. وَالْمَمَالِيكَ مُلُوكًا. And also slaves. Mamalik is the plural of mamluk. It also made the mamaluk mulukan. It makes the slaves kings. فَقَدْ خَلَفَ الْغَوْرِيَّ مَمْلُوكَهُ كُتُبُ الدِّينِ. So Ghawri, Qutbuddin was his mamluk, okay, was his slave, and he left him behind. Qutbuddin took over and became the king. وَخَلَفَهُ مَمْلُوكُهُ Shamsuddin. And also, Qutbuddin also, his slave, Shamsuddin, also took over from him and also became a king. So realize that slaves rising up to the standards of kings. This was Tamarrat Dawlatul Mamaliki, and the state of the Mamalik, okay, the slaves who are taking over power, continued for أي 87 سنة, 87 years continuously. It was the Mamalik that were the muluk, that were the kings. Says جاء في خلالها ملوك يتجمل تاريخكم بهم. This is the minaret talking to the man. Okay, the man who went out for tarwih al-nafs. The minaret is telling him that جاء في خلالها أي خلال دولة المماليك, during the period of the state of the Mamalik, some kings في خلال هذه المدة جاء ملوك, some kings came. يتجمل تاريخكم بهم. Your history is beautified by them. يتجمل تاريخكم به. Your history is beautified by them. كالقائد قطب الدين أيبك. قطب الدين أيبك. Okay, like the leader or the commander قطب الدين أيبك. والملك الصالح ناصر الدين محمود بن this name, I think the ta is supposed to be 2. If I'm not mistaken, I think the name is Ibn al-Tutush or something like that. I hope we get it right. Let me see. I think the name it should be Tutush Nasiruddin. Let me come. I'm coming. I wanted to us to. So his name is the Nasiruddin Mahmud al-Tutmish. Al-Tutmish. So there should be another ta there, per my observation. I don't know if, I think the Indians might be in the best place to correct us on this. So the name Al-Malik al-Salih, the righteous king, Nasiruddin Mahmud bin al-Tutmish. Wal-Malik al-Adilu, Ghiyath-ud-Din Balban. Okay, these kings also came from the Dawlatul Mamalik, and with them, the history of the Muslims in India is beautified because they were great kings. Okay, then it says, وَفِي عَصْرِ السُّلْطَانِ شَمْسِ الدِّينِ, and during the era of Sultan Shamsuddin, كان في دلهي الشيخ الكبير قطب الدين باختيار الكعكي. So there was also, during the time of Shamsuddin, there was in Delhi, there was Sheikh Al-Kabir, the great Sheikh Qutbuddin, a pole of the religion, Bakhtiyar Kahki. Bakhtiyar Kahki is his name. It says, وَطَالَمَا رَأَيْتُ السُّلْطَانَ شَمْسِ الدِّينِ يَدْخُلُ عَلَيْهِ فِي اللَّيْلِ. And I was seeing Sultan Shamsuddin going to him at night. وَيَخْدُمُهُ, and serve him. وَيَغْمُزُ رِجْلَيْهِ, and he was palpating his leg, if that is the يَغْمُزُ رِجْلَيْهِ. The word يَغْمُزُ بمعنى to hold his leg and be kind of pressing it for him. Okay, palpating it, massaging it. يَغْمُزُ رِجْلَيْهِ وَيَبْكِي, and was crying. So every sultan, the era of every sultan, he had a scholar who was behind him. Okay, that is how it always worked during the history of Islam. So you find that there was a king who was a warrior, but there is an imam who was his spiritual leader, kind of. So the minaret is telling us that he kept seeing Sultan Shamsuddin, the king Shamsuddin, entering into or visiting Bakhtiyar Kaki at night and serving him, وَيَغْمُزُ رِجْلَيْهِ, and also massage his legs or palpate his legs, وَيَبْكِي, and cry. Okay, I don't know if you could end this one here, and then inshallah we take up from انقرضت الدولة سادتي al-Mamalik, inshallah, in our next episode. So in our next episode we pick up from here. Okay, so please do well to revise, practice the vocabularies, try and write something on your own. Inshallah, in our next meeting we try and complete the rest. Have a very good time. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share for others to also benefit. If you've not subscribed yet, do well to subscribe, and please do well to share till it reaches the farthest edge in in the means of sharing knowledge. Just as you've benefited, let others also benefit, inshallah. Till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. If there is any concerns, anything you know about these kings that you want to add us up, inshallah, we are ready for you to add us. This is not the portion of Arabic, this is history, and this has to do with names of kings and what they did. Okay, the Arabic in it we do well to explain, but the history part, anything that you would want to add, inshallah, you are free to. Till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.